What's up, Saturday morning, people, and welcome back to another video with me. And today we're talking about a story from my school past that still is relevant to my everyday life today. Let's go. So this story takes place about 2 years ago at after school care, and I was playing around, and there's these little kids. This particular one we'll call Uno, because the way we started was by playing Uno. So I was playing it with a bunch of other kids and him, and he's like, "Hey, want to be friends?" I mean, come on, really any kindergarten would do that, but can you really say no to a kid like that? So I'm like, "Hey, yeah, we can be friends." And by friends, I mean very distant friends. I mean, come on, I can't spend all my time playing with a freaking kindergartner. And well, this started to go real weird. So I let Gosh go, and he's like running after me. And I'm just like, okay, this kid's a bit attached. This is when my story starts to go down the cliff. So I come into the playground the next morning, and then he shows up. "Hey, you, play Minecraft with me." And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, the kid is addicted. He just finds me, and then he starts coming up to me, and well, he followed me in my lunch break. Just kept going like this for like an entire week straight. And then after school care, about 2 weeks later, I was playing around, finally having some space for once, kicking a soccer ball. Actually, no, this wasn't about 2 weeks later, I think. This was about a year later. Because really, I just really sucked back then. I couldn't really stand up to anybody. But, come on, mate. It's 2020. I mean, this year's 2020, but the story was in 2019. You know what? I'm stumbling. 2020. About 2 weeks through the first term, I'm kicking a ball around, and he's looking at me from afar, and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't really notice, and I'm like pretending he's not there. But he really was there, and it just became more and more obvious to me. Luckily, I kept my eyes off him, and I thought, maybe if I stopped noticing him for like a very long time, then he would actually stop and find something better to do. However, he kept lingering around, from area to area, trying to get my attention, trying to make me feel sorry for him, until it got to the point that he literally had to walk into the pitch, stand about 10 seconds away. I had to still ignore him, but after a good 10 seconds, I couldn't, and I asked, "Why do you keep following me? Don't you have some other friends?" And he's like, "Dude, I don't have any other friends. I want to play with you." And I'm like, "Mate, this is a lie. I mean, I just saw him this morning, and he was playing around with some other children, playing Minecraft." I'm like, "Well, Uno, don't you have some other friends to play with? But I only want to hang out with you. Oh, so sweet." I don't really care at this point. This guy's basically started to interfere with my actual life, making my friends think I'm weird and I just hang around the little kindergartens. He made only 3 of my friends feel weird around me, but don't worry, it's all been resolved. However, he's just standing there, and I'm like, "Mate, you have other friends here." He's like, "But I only want to hang out with you." I'm like, "Mate, seriously, I can't always play with you." So then, I'm like, "Hey," you guys may be saying, "Hey, why do you have so many problems with this little kid? Why do you have so many problems with a freaking kindergartner right now? Why do you have so many problems with that? Like, why do you have so many problems with just one little boy?" Here's why. So, a decent good friend would stand about away from you, like during coronavirus, but in general, he would give you some space. But this kid has a different way of doing it. he literally runs up to you, grabs you by the side of your chest, and wedges his face directly in front of yours. You can literally feel the heat coming off his face. He's screaming your name. And it's horrible. And then he starts tugging you. And he starts saying, come with me, play with me, come with me, play with me. And he's like, play Minecraft with me. And I'm like, mate, I like Minecraft, but I don't like the way he plays it. He goes netherite and ender sword. Okay, now that's messed up. And he's always like, Herobrine, 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 Herobrine. Herobrine's not spooky at all, he's just some lacquer. This is when it starts to get really aggravatingly annoying. This kid, if you say no to playing with him, this is what sucks up quite a bit. This is one of the biggest things. If you say no to playing with him, he will either try to get super mad and make you feel really guilty or scared or pressured, or he will literally make you feel so sorry that you literally are forced mentally into playing with him. Or he'll just attempt to tell on you and say, you're not playing with him, you're a mean guy, you're really bad. But really, having some space from a decent child is just, I find that okay. I find having some space for a little bit, it's perfectly okay. And this little kid shouldn't be getting as mad as he is. Or sad as he is. This kid's quite a bit of an overactive guy. And this is the bit that is hellish. This is the chart. The changeling in the corner is, hence, me. And the bacon hair in the other corner is Uno. And even if, say the ground's the playground, and if he sees you, and if you are offended, even if you are behind something or hidden, it's by a 100% chance that he is literally going to find you either way. It's impossible to follow how he does it, but he somehow does. However, this is when I started having to take precautions on the playground. I had to start wearing new clothes. I had to start looking different. I had to start overall looking like an entirely different person, just so he wouldn't find me. Well, this turned into quite a big thing, as it still has been raging on for the last 2 years, and I still haven't resolved it. Luckily, my reputation isn't torn to shreds. Hey guys, you've reached the end of the video. Now, can you please click the like button? Or this like button may or may not crush me like a mosquito or something like that. Okay, can you seriously help me now? Please, 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 please. I don't want to be crushed, mate. Thank you. Thank you for clicking it. I've been traumatized for a long time. I'm still traumatized by it. But hey, maybe you could click subscribe just to be sure. Adios.